Hello everybody, welcome back for some StarCraft 2 action. We're here with Bly again versus Spatz, which is his round 3 opponent in the ESL Winter Online Regional Qualifiers in the Swiss rounds. So Bly's now 1-1, 14 pooling it before an Overlord into double extractor trick here. Bly, what are you up to, my man? Meanwhile, Spatz does see that there's no hatchery. Hello? Where's your hatchery, buddy? Let's see what Spatz sees. And now he sees a pool that's almost done. What does he do? Hatchery comes in the wall? Hey. Let's go. Spatz puts down a second gateway here. Gateway finished up. And we do see Cyber Core. This isn't quite a wall as soon as Bly cancels this hatchery. Lings are flooding on out of the base. And Spatz has pulled 4 probes to attack this hatchery. Oh, is there a gap here actually? It kind of looked like a probe could fit through there. There's now a Zealot out, second being constructed here. More Zerglings flooding across the map. Natural hatchery has been put down. And now the Lings have arrived and they're nibbling away at this gateway. Adept being started as well. Hatchery pretty near completion, but also pretty near death. Zealot pops out on the other side of the wall. Zerglings is focusing on this gateway, and I think this hatchery is going to be cancelled here. And it does get cancelled by Bly. Drone just scoots on into the base. What is he going to do with that drone? This gateway is in peril as long as this Adept is not out. Oh my god, there is... The Adept pops out of this gateway, another Adept pops out, and suddenly these slow Lings really need to get away here. Because they do not have speed. Gas only just started up for Bly. And we do have a proxy hatchery in the base of Spatz, which he does see just with the vision of his gas and Nexus. So not the best positioning here with this hatchery, but I guess it does keep the Zealots back? Question mark? Because I think the Zealots could be quite the nuisance if they walked across the map right away. Which now they won't. Do see 100 gas for Bly now. Still have a hatchery here, boys. But 2 Zealots are pretty good at killing a hatchery. If they're there early. And the hatchery gets cancelled once more. 2 Adepts sliding across the map here. Their spectral forms do end up in the main base of Bly. And they're here with a vengeance, ready to snipe some of these drones. Now that looks like a lot of drones. That's not what you want to see when you're Spatz. 3 drones do go down. 4 do go down, and the spectral form of this Adept actually got out? No, it died, Right? It effing died. It died just before it could shit out, damn. This drone is still walking around in the main base of Spatz. Another drone goes down to the singular Adept. 7 drones in total do get killed by these Adepts. Now that hurts. That's just so annoying. If you're Bly, look at the drone count. He's now at 25 drones. Still mining gas. Starting a lair. This man is poor as shit. He does not have money to spend right now. And we do see a robotic support bay. There's already a Robo and a Warp Prism on the map. 2 Adepts in that Warp Prism. Slow Lings making their way across the map. 2 Zealots here in the wall, making sure that even Banelings can't penetrate, even though they would probably just hit the pylon. Adepts in the natural once again. They can get ferried out by this Warp Prism. This gateway might finally go down, but more drones do go down. Oh, missed targeting on the Adepts here. Nuclear battery keeping this gateway alive for like 2 more years. And actually won't go down. Jesus Christ. Shield batteries, lul. Well, we do have a lair now. 39 drones for Bly. It's just been droning here. Kind of seeing that Spatz doesn't really have any units right now. And Spatz not that high on workers, even though this Nexus, it was delayed. All things considered. Oh my god, the Disruptor got stuck. Look at this. The Disruptor is stuck. You need your Warp Prism to get it out of there. Where is that Warp Prism? There it is. Overseer does come on into the main base to check it out. Does see the robotics bay. So you know that it's a possibility. He has already seen the Warp Prism, so it could be Disruptor drops, and it is. But it could also be Colossus dropped. Equally as dangerous for Bly right now. Not a lot of queens on the field. And we see a Spire. Spatz kind of playing into Bly here. Like into Bly's favor, because super fast Spire is good against this heavy committed robo play. 6 more drones get blown up by that Purifying Nova. Nice drop by Spatz. 34 drones for Bly. Yikes. Doesn't look good. He's so low on the workers. More gateways coming down for Spatz. Colossus is about to pop as well. That boy is not going to help out versus those Mutalisk unless he like headbutts them out of the air. But I don't think that will happen. One Adept does make its way into the natural, but does get taken down. Warp Prism is on the prowl. It's back for more. And the Purifying Nova only gets 2 drones here from the gas. Decent damage on that Warp Prism from the Queens. But 39 drones still. No third base for Spatz, though. How many gateways does this man have? That's a lot. He's 5. Wow, that's a lot of gateways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways with a robo. I feel like Spatz is going all in here. And of course, that's pretty strong when your opponent is going for Mutalisk. But if he doesn't make any Stalkers, the Mutas might actually do something here. That's 3 sentries, though. Few Stalkers. I feel like a Guardian Shield and 1 Stalker Warp in completely nullifies the Muta count. Spore tanking a lot of damage here. Pretty nice. Half of Bly's army move commands into the army of Spatz, and now it's force fielded stuck into the natural. Meanwhile, Mutas are in the natural doing their thing, but shield batteries keeping the Stalkers alive. Drones are being pulled here. Stalkers do get assaulted by the roaches that do get on top of them. Nice juggling on the Colossus, but it's so low that you actually almost can't drop it out there again. 8 drones do go down. A bunch of probes do go down. This is not a lot of Mutas left, but Bly somehow, some way does hold on. 30 drones, though. That does not feel good, and he does the thing he does best. Just fire up more drones and Mutalisk. And for Bly, this actually doesn't seem that bad. Because Spatz only has 2 bases. Now, he can still live on these 2 bases for a little bit. But if you look at this main base, it's starting to itch. Spatz does fire up Blink here. Knows that he doesn't have enough money in the tank to really commit into something like Phoenix. Because his main base is drying up, and that kind of signaling that he should try and attempt to get a 3rd base if he wants to play a longer game here. Bly does take 2 more gases. He's committed to just pumping Mutalisk, because he's taking these gases before he even starts saturating his 3rd base. So super committed to getting a Mutalisk death ball here. And while he does have 9 Mutalisk right now, 2 more underway plus 1 underway, Spatz really having difficulty pumping out enough Stalkers here. I think he's just committing a little bit too much into all of this other tech. He does get a couple Archons now, so the Mutas will never fight this army straight up anymore. So Spatz, kind of looking like Spatz wants to do a follow-up all-in into Bly here. Does have 1 Immortal to completely nullify the Roach count as well. If you look at this army for the Protoss, It seems pretty strong against what the Zerg has, but oh my god, Bly managing to pick off a bunch of Stalkers here with the Mutalisk. Taking pretty juicy fights. 2 Immortals, actually. Those don't shoot up. And Bly kind of trading out some of his Mutas for Stalkers. Does have 3 gas up and running, and Bly knows you don't have a third base. Anything I trade out on your side of the map is gonna help me. Or is gonna be trade worthy. And look at Spatz, he just kind of has his whole army outside of his natural now. He's had enough. I feel like he's just gonna A-move across the map. Just try and kill Bly. Ooh, another Muta does go down, but the Mutas are now in the natural, and Spatz is like, okay, F it. I don't care anymore, bro. I don't care anymore. Left a couple Stalkers back at home. No cannons, though. Only a shield battery. And Bly has enough Mutas to just gun down these probes with good target fire. But here is the big committed attack by Spatz. Walks on in with a ton of Stalkers, but oh my god, Bly has a lot of Ravagers. He has a lot of gas to make those. 46 drones somehow made a shit ton of Roach Ravager. 18 probes are dead. Spatz, this is mega all-in. He can never go back to his base because there's nothing to retreat to. And the Archons are now targeted down. The Mutas could even come back into the fight, but they're just cleaning up the main base right now. And Spatz, if you're not cleaning up this army right now, like, are you gonna wait for these 10 roaches to pop? Oh my god, no! Oh my god, the corrosive biles completely annihilating that one immortal and a bunch of Stalkers. And Bly can just buy more time, making more Ravagers. He's a Ravager enjoyer. He has more Ravagers than he has Roaches. There's one immortal. Oh well. The Mutalisks do join the fight now, and with this, Spatz is out, and Bly takes the first game of this best of 3. And we're back on a map we all want to see Bly play. It's Alcyone, which is this weird map with, like, the gold bases behind the mineral walls. Bly's sending out a drone here. Where is he going? He's actually going to the natural of Spatz. Spatz again. Kind of scouting out the natural of Bly. I don't know if he saw this drone. This drone kind of moved around as if he was gonna go and take his natural at the third base. And here's a drone in front of the base of Spatz. Is he gonna... Actually takes his natural just like that. Bam! Tricky Bly. Just gets his natural base up just like that. It was almost done, and he's waiting, actually, not making a pool, sending in his drone to get another base in your base. Puts down a hatchery on top of the Nexus location. Really annoying to deal with here, so you probably want to Chrono Boost out a Zealot and pull a bunch of probes, but not too many. We do have a hatchery in the natural here. Or Bly, that's a sight to behold. You don't see that every day. He starts off with a natural in his own, or a hatchery in his own natural. 5 probes here, just moving and scooting. They kind of surround the hatchery, making sure that if the drone pops out, he does get a couple hits on it. And Bly gets a cancel and gets a quick Evo chamber. Quick fingers on the man there. Another cancel on that Evo chamber, and the drone does stay alive. Second gas being taken, so Bly can't steal it. And then he just makes a hatchery in your natural. That's what he does, right? That's what he does. Oh my god. Adept being Corona boosted out and sent to the natural of Bly. Of course, Spatz finds the proxy hatchery in his main base. He's like, what? What is this? Are we playing StarCraft? No, my man, you're playing Blycraft. That's all we can really say about that. Speed just started. Bly keeps mining gas. So aggressive. He does have... What is this? 8 lings? 8 lings ready to receive this Adept, and the Adept actually shades in. Spatz wants that scouting information and maybe a little bit of damage, mostly just the information. Oh my god, the wiggles. He actually wiggles out. And Shade's on top of a drone here. Or 2 drones. Does get 1 drone. Drone hides beneath the queen. Does get the 2nd drone there. This hatchery is still alive, but I can't imagine Bly finishing this one. It's a lot of money just tied up in nothing here. Cancels it again. Drone almost fully healed up whilst trying to become a hatchery there. And what's the tech of choice? We do see a Twilight Console and a Robo. Or Spatz here. Ling's out on the map, and there's again a pretty quick lair here. Is Bly just gonna try the same thing again? Just gonna go very quickly into that 2-base, 3-base muta. Try and punish anything dumb from the Protoss. I mean, it's more on the Protoss to punish this dumb thing from the Zerg, honestly. I do see Glaives coming out for Spatz here, so I'm expecting a super duper giga all-in. Just barely making any more probes here, just making a bunch of gateways and then just pumping out the Adept. Lair has finished up. We do see a Roach Warren down here. This could work in Bly's favor here. If he snuffs out this big Adept count. Ooh, Zerglings do get into the natural, and now the main base. He sees the Twilight Console, he sees the Robo, he sees a War Prism and a bunch of Adepts. He could know, but he might not know. It's 4-gate Adept with Glaive, so Spatz could actually be taking a third behind this, not going Giga all-in. Actually, never mind, getting a Dark Shrine in the middle of your mineral line, that's cheeky. At first glance, you probably think, oh, that's a cannon or a pot, well, or a battery. You probably think battery, but it doesn't have energy. So that's a little sussy. Oh my god. 12 Adepts walking up. And Bly does have a full wall. Super nice. But no third base for Bly. So a Spatz, you're just kind of like, okay. You're a 2-base Zerg. What you gonna do? You're on roaches. That's all you got. You got roaches. There's no further tech coming out except for roach speed here for Bly. Queens do ward away that War Prism, so awkwardly enough, this game seems to be stabilizing, but the Dark Shrine is here. The Adepts are on another potential third base. Oh my god, Spatz actually unloads his Adepts in the natural base and gets 4 drones for his troubles. Does lose 1 Adept for it. But this seems like pretty good value. Oh my god, no, there's a DT. Oh, nice whole position by Bly, actually. It only hits a Roach. Overseer coming out here. The Dark Templars do nothing at all. And the Queens are here to ward away those War Prisms. And Evo Chamber does get finished up, so he'll have to kill that before he can leave his base. But why would he want to leave his base? He has a Nidus. He can actually just Nidus into the main of Spatz. Oh my god. Can he put it down? That would be really crazy. Oh my god, it does go down. Spatz does not know about this. Adept's still walking around the map. This might be kind of an anti-timing here. And luckily for Bly, it isn't. Roaches do flood out into the main of Spatz. How do you defend this? You defend this with the mortals, right? That's 1 immortal. Does get targeted down right away. The 3rd immortal joins the party after the first one dies, and the roaches do try to kill their natural predator in the immortal, but it does lose. He does lose a lot of roaches here. And here's the War Prism saving that immortal. But here are the Queens, the big mamas, ready to transfuse the roaches, or whatever roaches are left. But these are Glaive Adepts, and they attack fairly fast, actually. Oh my god, the army of Bly actually getting shredded there. Not unloading all of his roaches all at once. There was another Evo Chamber build here against the Adepts, and now being destroyed again. This poor Evo chamber. Two Archons being morphed in here from DT is actually a bit cheap on the gas. And Spatz does have a pylon here. Might take a third base at 8.5 minutes, maybe. Bly did take his third base slightly after 8 minutes. Lovely to see. Crazy game. No probes on that one gas. Spatz is in panic mode, or at least in crisis management mode. Spatz doesn't drop these Archons on top of the Roaches. There he goes. No third base so far for Spatz, because that probe and pylon have been destroyed. Why? Making this game crazy once more. We do see an infestation pit. 4 swarm hosty boys coming out. Let's go. Let's see them swarm hosts. But before the swarm hosts are out, there's a big attack here by Spatz. Charge slots, Archons, 2 Immortals, and a bunch of, a couple leftover Adepts. This actually doesn't look like Bly has a very big army. The Swarmos do pop out, but the Evo Chamber gets targeted down right away. Locusts land in the middle of the Protoss army, immediately gets shredded, so don't do a lot of damage. We do have 2 Ravagers joining the pack and trying to put down some Corrosive Bile on the Protoss army, but doesn't quite get the hits. More Swarmos apparently already used their Locust, and this is just a lot of death supply. More Locusts coming out, landing right on top of the Zealots and the Immortals. Oh, wow, the Zealots do get shredded by these Locusts, and Spatz just walks away. 22 drones have died in the natural, and even if Bly survives, he has 20 drones left. But Spatz is not done yet. Bly hang it in by a thread, but a lot of Swarmos were actually targeted down there, and Spatz just walks up the ramp. Bly doesn't have enough forces on top of the ramp to stop him from doing that, and just like that, Spatz takes the game, and we're tied up 1-1. And Spatz survives Bly's wicked onslaught in Game 2 on Alcyone, which is, I don't know, that's like the scariest map to play against versus Bly, because of the gold base, because of the rich geyser base. It's like he can just do so much weird shenaniganery on that map. This map, however, Hecate. Bly just taking a natural base, just playing standard. The cheesiest man cheesiest thing a cheeser can do is what I've heard a little birdie tell me once in a while when watching a StarCraft cast. We do have these hybrid bases, of course, that last time we saw Bly play versus Spirit, I think, on this map. He took that hybrid base and tried to do a Ravager all-in off of it. And it looked promising for a little bit, but Spirit just kind of slapped it down in the end. Snuffed it out just in time. And Spatz here, actually a little surprised that Bly is playing a normal game, probably. Is opening up standard. Now that feels uncanny. You're like, I'm playing a Bly game and I'm opening standard? I think I'm doing something wrong. Annoying little probie does disconnect the drones from these 2 patches. As you can see, the drones just kind of bump around if you disconnect them like that, which is why pros do that. Bly's mining gas to get that speed up. And let's see what Bly does here. Does he get a quick third base to connect his bases? Or does he delay and use creep tumors instead? We've seen him put down a tumor at the front of his third base a lot. Or at least versus Mana he did that. To then execute a follow-up roach attack that has like a semi-creep highway because of that. Because your creep is just so far forward if you can take this forward base unpunished. Now we do see a Stargate coming down from Spatz, so that's a little change up from the Robo openers that he's been doing the previous 2 games. So that tells me that Spatz likes to get a Robo when the game is getting a little dumb. When he doesn't know exactly what's going on. He feels like a Robo's a good bet. Immortals, War Prisms, Observers, pretty good shit. third base going down for Bly before any hatcheries on his opponent's side of the map. So, I don't know, is this really Bly playing? It could just be some other Zerg, like this could just be... I don't know. I think naming another pro here is kind of rude. Second gateway going down for Spatz. And there's an Oracle being chrono boosted out. We do see 2 Adepts, but they're not moving across the map. Calling this the Bly effect right here. Every Protoss would walk these across the map and like be super annoying. But speed is done, so you don't want to be across the map anymore. 8lings are out and about, looking around. Checking if there's a third base. Not over there. Oracle does move in. And targets down a singular drone. Second drone goes down. But that's quite a bit of hull damage on that Oracle. And oh my god, the Lings get in onto the third base. The one Adept dies right away. That's a pretty good catch. Actually, Bly getting another catch on an Adept here with his Zerglings. My god, that never happens in my ladder games. I just walk up to this third base. There's already 3 Adepts tucked into a finished pylon with a battery. Second Oracle comes out. But it doesn't go into the third base. There's actually a Spore almost finished up as well. Bases are fairly connected for Bly here with the creep lair underway. Mining gas from a singular geyser. Spores in all 3 bases. And we have a Roach Warren. Third base almost done for Spatz. But also we have a lot of Zerglings here for Bly. Holy moly. And oh my god. No. Spatz. Oh my god. Das not sehr schön. A lot of probes do go down here in the natural. Actually, only 5 probes for a lot of Zerg. 6 probes. 7 probes. Oh my god, the little Ling that could. Oh, that's not game-ending damage, but that feels so bad when you're Spatz. And he warps in a bunch of Adepts and he shades across the map. He's looking for some counter damage. But in the meanwhile, they're actually equal in drones or workers because Bly just can't stop himself from making more Zerglings. And 3 Oracles plus Adepts come into the third base here, and the drones are in peril. 1 Oracle does go down. Only 3 drones go down so far. Adepts haven't really been targeting down the drones. 50 drones for Bly, 55 probes for Spatz. I hope that Spatz realizes that he's in a fine position and doesn't feel behind. Doesn't feel the need to do anything unnecessary. Oh, Adepts walk on in here, target down a Queen, and shade themselves out to safety. Bly does have a 4th base running here, but pretty low drone count. I feel like you can only really use this 4th base for like a main-arding workers away from your mined-out main, or just the larva. And of course, I'm totally wrong. Here's a Spire play by Bly, getting all of his gases up and running, barely has any of his mineral lines saturated. Actually has none of his mineral lines fully saturated. And he got Lings into the main base of Spatz here. Actually kills off a Stalker, killed 5 more probes. Man, this is so annoying if you're Spatz. These goddamn Lings just keep running by. And these Stalkers just can't hold their effing position. Now the Spire over halfway done here. Nice round of drones coming out here by Bly. And now he has a bunch of bases, bunch of geysers running as well. He's about to pop a monster amount of Mutalisk, I feel like. Making actually some safety roaches here. 10 roaches. Another... Oh my god. Double Robo Colossus. And Bly knows all about it. So I'm not sure if this Spire was a response to seeing these Robos. But this Spire is a great call versus Double Robo Colossus. As we saw in the last game, Colossi are too lazy to actually headbutt the Mutalisk out of the sky. So the Mutas can just kind of reign supreme when the Colossus are around. 2 Colossi about to pop, and this is going to be a rude awakening for Spatz. Spatz sees the 4th base. No drones on it, though. 2 Oracles trying to get something done. I don't think he's seen the Mutas. The Mutas are kind of like avoiding the Oracles here. Oh my god, I don't think Spatz knows. I don't see any Stalkers in the main. And these Mutalisk are gonna wreak havoc. 8 Mutalisk going into the main base, and they dive onto these 2 Stalkers right away. Do kill these 2 Stalkers right away. And now they're in the main base. They do attack the War Prism a bit. And now they start killing workers. Roaches on into the 3rd base because Spatz pulled way too many units into the main base. And now his 3rd base is in peril because of all of these roaches. Don't forget about these Mutas still trying to get damage done. 10, 11 probes do go down. Blink Stalkers are here, though, to repel these roaches and these Mutalisk. But that's a lot of worker damage. Bly, 10 workers up and just massing roaches right now. Does have +1 air coming, so probably wants to go back into Mutalisk at some point. But he sees Spatz moving across the map, and this Mutaflock here actually fighting back against the Stalkers. Can you believe it? Oh my god, these Mutalisk are buying so much time for Bly to get his army ready. Look at the supply. Bly just gets another round of roaches, more Ravagers, more Lings. Oh, Mutalisk dive on into the 3rd base, kill the nuclear battery. Now makes short work of that cannon, and in the meanwhile, Roach Ravager Queen is ready to defend the 3rd base. And the Mutas of Bly are headed into the main. Zerglings in the natural. It's a crazy game. Bly dives onto the army of Spatz. Actually has 4 Colossus. 1 does fall. 3 Colossus left with a bunch of Blink Stalkers. And I think Bly can actually sack this base. He's done critical damage to Spatz. All he needs to do is hold on. The drones are being pulled. Because Bly knows all he needs to do is kill this army. And he probably wins this game. No mining except for the 3rd base. All of the probes are situated over there. And just more roaches are coming out. Roaches come out of the 5th base. And now there's a full surround on Spatz's army. Blink Stalkers try to blink out. Colossus are being juggled, but the Stalkers just can't be enough of a meat shield for these Colossus to do their damage. Or can they actually? All the roaches are gone. Ravagers do get targeted down, but the Mutalisk are back once more to save the day. They target down the last Colossus, and now they can target down the War Prism. Or just consolidate with the rest of the army. Spatz only mining from 1 base right now, and he's just warping in Stalkers in hopes that he can win with them. +2 attack on these bad boys. So if you get a critical mass of Stalkers, Blink Stalker Micro is pretty good. Oh, the drones are being pulled off the line. That's a lot of Zerg units, and the Stalkers are on creep. They just want to get out of there. And it does get decent trades. Still, nope, actually mining from more than 1 base right now. Spatz kind of re-stabilizing the game. But the supply is still not speaking in his favor. Nice catch on that Mutalisk. How many Mutalisk do we have? We have 0 Mutalisk left. So actually, Spatz, if you just kind of blink around the base of Bly, stay off creep, then you can probably keep him at home for a long time. But instead, Bly jumps on top of the Stalkers, and the Stalkers are slightly out of position. And now the Stalker count is so low. Spatz is reprobing, though. So slowly but surely, he can get back into this game if he keeps this up. Worker counts are actually kind of even. But the army count for Bly is like quadrupling Spatz's worker or army count. And there's Lings in the 3rd base. The 3rd base has to be evacuated. No shield battery here to back up the army. And 11 more roaches underway. But I don't think they'll ever see the light of day because this is a lot of roaches. And that's not a lot of Stalkers. The probes were pulled off and killed. And with that, Bly takes the game. And with that, the match beats Spatz 2-1. A blind moves on in this Swiss round. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that cast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.